Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Adriana Nunez. For those of you who don't know me yet, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. So for today's video, we are doing a Q&A just so y'all can get to know me a little better. So let's get right into it. On Instagram, I posted and I asked my followers to ask me questions that they want to know about me. And these were some of the questions. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. The questions are not that bad. Of course, I had a few because, you know, people get a little out of pocket when you give them the freedom to just ask you whatever they want to ask you. But for the most part, everybody, you know, stayed respectful and stayed, you know, on board, on the same page as me. So one of the questions is, what is the greatest movie of all time? Of all time. Now, me, I'm like an emotional person, right? So depending on what I'm feeling that day or that hour, that's basically how I make my decisions. But overall, I'm gonna say one of the movies that I just can never get sick of for some really strange reason, and it's not even a funny movie, but I always quote it all the time because I just feel like it has a lot of funny moments, is Forrest Gump. Like, I love Forrest Gump. I don't know why. And he's like so sweet. And even though he's a little dumb, I just want to hug him and put him in my pocket.
I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is.
That would be, for me, it might change if I'm in like a weird mood tomorrow, but it would be Forrest Gump. All right, next question. The most important question in my music career is, when is the EP coming out? I know I've lied to y'all so many times about when this EP is gonna come out, and I swear it wasn't intentional because I might just cut my hair this shirt. No, I won't. You know, it's hard to get some shit done, but I'm in New York right now and I am finally finishing the whole recording, like the whole project. So if the timeline syncs up the way I think it's gonna sync up, it should be done and out in January. So it's gonna be done before January. It should be out in January 2021. God willing, if 2020 doesn't come up with some other weird shit. Okay, next question. What is your favorite place to travel and why? I have done a little bit of traveling, if I may say so myself. But I think what takes the cake from all the traveling that I have done, or the few places I have been, was my trip to Israel. Israel was such an amazing trip, you guys. I don't feel like I hear people speak about Israel often, but I was lucky enough to go with one of my best guy friends, business partner, Rock, and his wife, who is Israeli. And it's super dope because Israel has really traditional and conservative parts to it, but then it also has a super like fucking liberal part to them as well. So it's just kind of like you get the best of both worlds. It was really cool to go to the original church, but then also have like a mosque right next to it. So it's like, what? Like, you literally, if you walk through the whole thing, you get to see everything transform into like a whole different culture, and the smells even change and the people change. It's just really cool. I also got to go to the Dead Sea twice, and I know it sounds super simple, but you legit float. Like, I weigh like 200 pounds. I weigh like 200, 215 if I'm like a little happy. And you legit float. Like, as you're walking into the water, you feel like kind of the pressure in your feet a little bit. I'm not gonna say it's like but it's like you feel the little tingles. And so I could literally like lay on my side and I'm floating on the water. It sounds really cool. And then also, it was just the most peaceful thing I think I've ever experienced in my life. Because you know, when you're floating and you kind of have to tense up your body, and you kind of have to like hold yourself up a little bit so you don't drown and you don't get like water all in your shit, but you literally don't have to try to do anything. Like, it's the first time in my life, not to sound all corny, but that you can just exist. The day was the sky was super blue, the weather was beautiful, you know, we're in this body of water, and it's so quiet. and everything is still, because there's nothing that lives in the Dead Sea. It's the Dead Sea. It's like the saltiest body of water in the world, and nothing lives in it. Like, it's just this random ass body of water that people like. It's just, I don't know, but it was really, really cool. Anytime I find myself stressed or anything like that, I kind of find myself taking my brain to that place to kind of just like, all right, shit's not that crazy. I also did a hike, which is like a whole other story, but long story short, on the way up, my cheeks were fucking pink. It was the hike of Masada. If you want more details on that, I can make another video or whatever, and I could also bring in my friends that I went on the trip with. But we did the hike. We got to see the sun come up. It was really beautiful. I'll like attach pictures somewhere on the screen. It was dope. It was a really cool experience. The only thing is that, so on the way up, I saw that it had one of those, I guess they're called ramps. I don't know what they're called, but that bring you back down. So I was like, lit, I'm not climbing down this shit when I'm coming back down. But then it wasn't open yet, so I got so excited. I had my feelings played with, and I ended up having to do the stupid hike back down, and I had the only little kid face. Like, I was just not with it. I was so mad, but it was worth it. It's definitely worth it. Next question: when are you moving back to NYC? Now, I wish I could give an honest answer. I really don't know. That's the thing. I really don't know.
You ain't got the answer, Sway.
I was originally born in New York, and then I moved to Florida when I was like 10, 11. And then I moved back to New York when I was 20, turning 21. And I am currently 26 now. And I've spent this whole year in Florida. Well, not the whole year. In March, I came, like, because I was working 3 jobs, and all 3 got shut down because Corona. Since I'm not working right now, it wouldn't even make sense to give a date, because if you know New York, you know you gotta have money, and Corona has made sure to make sure that I have, you know, just what I need, if even. But hopefully sometime next year, maybe after my birthday. I don't know, we'll see. My birthday's in April, by the way, if y'all wanna, you know, make a note of that. Next question: do you collab with rappers? The answer is yes. I do collab with rappers. Not that I have, kind of. Not really. I haven't yet, but it's not because I'm against it. It's just, I don't know. I haven't really met a lot of people that have asked to collab. I feel like when I want to collab with someone, it has to make sense. But yes, I do collab with rappers. How tall are you really? It's funny because nobody believes me. I don't know. I am 6 feet tall. 6 foot? 6 feet. 6 foot tall. 6 feet tall. Whatever. I'm 6 feet tall. Yes, I'm sure. Yes, I got measured. Yes, if you stand next to me and you say you're 6 feet and you're shorter than me, that means that you're not 6 foot. I don't know why guys always like to lie about that shit, but like, I'm 6 foot. Yes, I'm tall. Yes, I've always been tall. No, I don't know how I got so tall. So those questions are just, it's not happening right now. Somebody asked me, how do you keep that WAP? If you know me, you know I'm always talking about some perverted shit. But all right, so basically, I'm gonna give you the gems right here. Rule number 1 to keep that WAP: cotton panties, all cotton, no silk, no lace, cotton. You'll thank me later. 2, drink a lot of water. Not so much sugar. Like, if you drink, don't drink too much sugar, anything that dehydrates you. Probiotics are a big help, whether they're the pill, whether it's yogurt, whether it's whatever, I don't know, kombucha. Probiotics are really healthy for that. If you want, I could go more into depth and I can make a whole video on vagina health, but those are just like the key points. Stay hydrated, don't drink too much sugar, cotton panties, and you can research the rest. Which sister oh god, which sister is your favorite sister? Okay, so I have 7 sisters, and it's really crazy because we're literally like if we're all in a room, you can tell we're related. Like some of us laugh the same, or we have the same sense of humor more or less, our gestures or body language and stuff, but we're all super fucking different. Like it's just really strange to say, like to see. But my favorite sister is another question. Most trouble you've ever been in as a child? I was always getting in trouble out of all my siblings. Like I think at this point my parents just gave up. Like they just don't know what to expect, like when I walk in the room or when I say something or when I do something. I think they kind of just already prepare for the worst at this point. But something funny, so one time, I'm always doing something, I'm always in trouble, so I really don't know what would be the most trouble. I probably should bring like my mom in one day on a video to let y'all know what was the most trouble I've been in, or maybe not, because that might be too much. But so one time I came home super drunk. I was like, I want to say 17, 18. Thinking back on it now, it's like, fuck, I was like a baby. And I was like, Ma, you're ODing, but she wasn't ODing. Like, now I see why she was so upset. So I come in the house, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm lit. So I come home lit, and the thing is that when you walk into my house, there's like the stairs right there leading to the top of the stairs. So when I look up, my mom is standing at the end of this, at the top of the stairs, and she has like her bata on, like, you know, and it's like dark. It's like the sun is coming up, so all you see is like her silhouette. So I'm there and I'm going up the stairs and I'm like crashing, you know, wall to wall. And she goes, okay, te graduaste. And I'm there drunk, and I'm just like, I graduated. Like, what did I graduate from? And I'm there getting to the top of the stairs, super drunk. And she's like, de la calle. And she just whooped my ass. Like, yo, it was really, really bad. And I'm just there, you know, I'm not gonna hit my mom. Like, so I'm just there. I'm 6 foot, she's like 5'2", 5'3". So I'm like holding this little woman. I'm like, Ma, stop. And she's like, mujer de la calle, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, Ma, I'm going to sleep. And I just went into my room and I was just like, Ma, ain't shit. But yeah, one of the ass whoopings I definitely deserved. I love you, Ma. This leads to my next question. What is your favorite family tradition? So I'm super, super lucky because even though my family, I think everybody's family has like weird shit, but my family has a really dope chemistry when we all get together. So a lot of times when we have like all the aunts and the uncles and like, you know, people and their boyfriends, you know, like when all the family gets together, I have a really big family. Everybody's kind of artistic in a way. Like I have an uncle who does poetry, and like my parents met in theater, and my dad also sings and plays guitar and stuff like that. So one of my favorite family traditions is when we have a family get together, they all kind of get in the sala, like they sit in the living room, and my dad will start like singing songs. And my dad sings like most of the time he sings the same songs, and when you're younger you're like, sing another song. But then as I got older, I'm like, I appreciate you so much. Like I love it. I'll listen to the same shit all the time. And the thing is that these are songs that I learned from him. So then when I hear the original song, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is not the way Papi sings it. But anyway, besides the point. My favorite tradition is that when we get together, all the siblings, like I forget that my uncles and aunts are my parents' siblings. So just seeing them kind of sing all together and do the monologues and the poems, it's really cool. It's really cool. And I think that's one of my favorite family traditions. Finally, I had to like write them down because my memory is trash. What is your writing process? So really funny story. It's not that funny actually, to be honest. I went to an art school for the first 2 years of high school, and they completely messed me up. Not messed me up in like, not all the way. They messed me up in the sense where like, when you write songs and stuff, or when you're artistic, yes, there has to be some kind of order, but for the most part, you're supposed to feel free, and you're supposed to just like vibe and get it done how you get it done. So when I first started writing songs, well, I've always written songs like since I was a kid. I'll just make them up, whatever. But when I started writing songs when I was in high school, I almost started to write it out like an essay. I remember I tried to work with this artist and he started laughing at me. He's like, yeah, we're gonna write an essay in MLB format, blah blah blah. And I was just like, ah. So, but he's so right, because I was just taking it way too serious and by the book, and it's like it has to make sense and it has to have this and then that and then this and whatever. And of course, you know, songs do need some kind of format, but the writing process doesn't have to be that way. So now my writing process is a little different. I usually like to write by myself. One, because I get self-conscious when I write with other people. Writing is really vulnerable to me, and I have to really get in my feelings and feel the vibe and all this stuff. So what I'll usually do is I have like LED lights around my room, so I'll kind of like flip the colors to see what vibe I'm in. And then I used to just write it off the top of my head, but now I'll go on YouTube, look up some beats, or to type in certain artists that I would vibe with, and I type in those kind of beats, and then I'll start writing to that. So I'll just flip through like hundreds of beats for like hours, and then whatever hits, it hits. And like if you look through my phone, I have a bunch of mumble jumble like voice notes of just like kind of melodies and random words, because that's how it comes out at first. It's just a melody and some random words. Like you'll just be like na, 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 stay na, 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 away, like, and you don't know what the song is gonna be about, but you know you want those words in the song. So it's really strange. I mean, maybe it's not that strange. Maybe other people have the same writing process. I don't know. But yeah, I think this is the end of the Q&A. I hope I've answered all your questions. And if you want another video like this where you want to ask me, you know, different shit, I'll be more than happy to make one. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel just to keep up with me. I do Music Mondays every Monday, which is basically me doing song covers here on YouTube. It's not on my Instagram, it's not anywhere else, it's just here on YouTube. You can follow me on the gram too. We could get to know each other there, you know. You slide in my DM and I'll slide in yours back. So make sure you reach out, don't be shy, and I hope this helped y'all get to know me a little better, and I'll see you guys next time.